Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Bestie Vibes podcast with Shabana and Lida.
Thank you so much for joining in today. And we want to appreciate and thank everyone that's been following us on TikTok and Instagram. But we're still waiting for those subscribers to increase. So please click that subscribe button. It doesn't harm you. It's just one click of a button. You can turn on your notifications so you can watch our new episodes that we release every Thursday.
So let's dive into our topic today. We can't wait to share what we have to say with you guys.
We had an episode recently talking about Rasma Rawaj and about Afghan weddings and, just all the things we do. And then we kind of started talking about the communication part between couples, between parents, and just the families,
family, yeah.
which we find that in our culture and just in general, it is the communication really sucks. Like
It
seriously,
does. It does.
they're not clear on expectations. They're not
No.
clear on like what do I want from you? What
فقط
do you
they
want
just
from
go
me?
with the flow. They're like, oh, برو که نامزاد شدیم کل چیز میشه دیگه.
آه برو دختر خوب است فامیل خوب است بچه خوب است فامیل خوب است میشه but
There's so
همیشه
much to
نمیشه
come.
especially
So
وقتی
much
که
to
arranged
come.
marriage می باشه right
Yeah.
they don't know what kind of person they're giving their daughter to right
100%.
they may look good they may
Yeah.
look the best but also like اصلی چهرهشان میاد
Things that you want in life should be discussed.
Yeah.
Things that are gonna be like after marriage that you don't expect from your husband and wife.
Exactly.
Like there's so much.
There's a lot. I think the biggest one is like just like finances, right?
Yeah.
Finance is so big. Say it's like, you guys plan your wedding.
Yeah.
You say, this is the kind of wedding I want. So you set a budget. But I think that's not the only finance you should talk about. You should talk about what do you bring to this marriage? What kind of debts do you have?
Because a lot of time یا بچه قرضدار می باشه. You get married to this person, you don't even know که قرضدار است. Like he has so much debt.
یا
Or even the
finance
girl. یک دختر میتونه قرضدار باشه. موتر finance کسی کده.
Or درسای خدا.
This
Or
should be
any
discussed.
credit cards, right?
Oh my god, it's so important because
And then they get
you should
married.
know who you're marrying, how much saving they have. Like you said, what do they bring to the table? What do they bring to this marriage?
Yeah,
Like,
what am I like taking? What kind
every
of
detail
responsibilities?
should be discussed because
Yeah.
it's so important because you don't think about it, but these can cause so much problem and even like divorces in many cases.
Of course, because financial problems is the biggest problems
It
and
is.
cause of divorces, right?
100%.
And it causes stress, anxiety, depression, and just
Very
a
much.
chaos in any kind of relationship and
Yeah.
marriage.
And why would you want to go through that, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
And
so
you
good to
could
be
go through
upfront.
it. Yeah, if you're upfront, exactly. Like Maitan and Bugu, I have my credit card at $10,000.
Exactly.
I've maxed
Show
it
who
out.
you are.
Yeah.
I always say when
Here's
you
my
get
plan.
married to someone, you gotta be yourself to them. This is who I am. These are my habits. These are my plans. This is the way I want to live. Because once you show yourself and be yourself, then like you kind of feel like you get accepted in that relationship and you're happier.
They're accepting you the way you are.
Oh my god, like
You're not
know-
nervous. You're not
I know,
scared.
and you know you're doing something wrong,
Yeah.
telling that person, oh, Boro, like, yeah, sure, as he make name, you're hiding so much, or you're not being yourself.
Yeah.
It just sucks not to communicate everything,
Yeah,
right?
or even it could just be as like little as my $5,000 credit card
Yeah.
I'm like
You don't have
just
to-
getting
yeah.
in that marriage.
Yeah.
I've not been able to pay it off.
Yeah.
This is my plan. I'll work extra and all that.
Sometimes
like
I
you
feel like
have
they're
to just
afraid to overshare because they're like, oh, what if I'm gonna get judged, right?
Or-
like you don't want to, like,
or
because
denied,
people
right?
do like, insan ishtibahat mein kanada zindagi, and they meet this perfect person and they're like, oh my god, I don't want to lose this person. So it could happen it could happen
but
for a
honestly,
reason of
comes like
yeah, but at least if you have that open communication and kind of like say, you know what, if it has to do with losing the person, like this was my past, I want to talk about it because I love you so much and I want to bring that up to you and show you the person I was yesterday, but these are the things I'm gonna change for and this is what I'm gonna
work on together as a couple. We're gonna work
Yeah.
on this. So
or help me out.
Yeah.
I need help here.
this topic is actually also inspired by our bestie,
Yeah.
right? That had reached out to us a while ago, and she mentioned that she has gotten engaged to someone, and they're getting ready to get married, like preparing for their wedding, and she found out that he's a gambler. Every extra money that he makes, he'll put aside a little bit for savings, and then he'll just go to the casino and spend it all. And when she found out, she was devastated. She was hurt because this is big deal.
Yeah.
Losing money on gamble,
Yeah.
like that's not a good habit. That's not someone that a lot of people would want to marry.
This is almost like cheating, Lida, right? Like you're cheating, like you're basically بازی میتی یک نفره و تو خود یک نفر دیگه بیخی نشان میتی. And
Yeah,
this is not the
that's-
right thing to do.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
true.
God, that I feel so bad for that girl, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
so like you know یگان فامیلا هستن they come که بچه خود تعریف میکنن که بچه ما ترسته انت جای خوب کار میکند he does this A B C D he's this
Yeah.
that obviously like you said earlier I love that you said that nobody's gonna come and say oh yeah my son's a gambler but if you know you're a gambler why are you gonna go ruin someone else's life.
Yeah.
I know everybody wants to get married,
Yeah.
but if you want to do that, first change yourself. First
Yeah.
try to change yourself, and if you can't change, maybe like if you found the right person,
Yeah.
work with them. If they
Yeah.
can accept you the way you are, work with them to change you.
Exactly, because if somebody really loves you, I think at the end of the day they will, accept you the way
Compromise, yeah.
compromise, accept you, and also say, okay, if you're gonna like try at least to be better, let's work together, and maybe this will work,
And show
right?
me, maybe like
Because
let's make a 6-month plan.
هیچ چیز از دروغ پیش نمیره هیچ چیز از like بازی دادن پیش نمیره
Yeah.
because at the end of the day one day or another اونمو پس در رویت میخوره.
Yeah.
So it's
And-
better to kind of like be really honest about
And
everything.
it kind of this also relates to one of our other besties who we actually created an episode on when she was talking about getting married and now she's surprised to live with her in-laws
Yeah.
and that was never a conversation. I think this is one of
Exactly.
the biggest conversations that all families need to have. You know what تویبوری که
Yeah.
میرین
Yeah.
در تویبوری اینمی چیزا رو بگوین.
در تویبوری
ما میخوایم که عروس ما همراه ما زندگی کنه for 1 year for 2 year for we don't know how
عروس
long.
ما کار کنه یا نکنه because this is another big thing.
Yes.
Some women they want to be housewife, right? Some women wants to really work. Their husband don't want them to work. Have this communication like do I want to work?
And
Do I
then
not
all
want
of
to
a
work,
sudden بعد
right?
از عروسی problem ها
Yeah.
میخیزه because
Exactly.
چیزی که they thought or they expected or even sometimes
Exactly.
assumed. Sometimes conversation نمیشه but they just assume that okay yeah this is gonna be okay.
Oh, they got-
Or sometimes یگان تا میفهمن که می شوارم یک قیدگیر هستم چیزا رو خوش ندارم برو بعد از عروسی چین میشه.
No, don't
You have to
guys,
have
don't
those
ever
clear
have that kind of
communication.
no. هیچ وقت کسی چی نمیشه تا خودش نخواه. I know life, changes you and people do change for
Yeah.
sure, but تا که خود انسان نفهم کسی رو چینج کرده هیچ وقت نمیتونه.
I think even like small things like about like family gatherings ما هر عید ما فامیل ما یک جای میشه.
Yeah.
ما توقعیم است که my wife is always at those gatherings,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's those little به خاطر اول عید میشه
Yeah.
and then she's like oh yeah I'm planning to go to visit my
Yeah.
family and he's like no this is our family ritual we have to be together.
have to be
like
together.
these are little things that we think
Yeah.
it's not a big deal
It is
but
a
I think
big
it's
deal.
so big that دوش زن شوهر باید در یک پیج باشه
Yeah, communication
or at least
is so
understand each other and
important.
compromise and
Even
work
like
around.
think about if they want a kid or not.
Oh,
they don't
100%.
talk about it. Some people like یگان نفرا خانمشان خوش داره زودتر اولاد بیارن وقت عروسی
Yeah.
کنن but some people don't. So they need to talk that out too, or they don't even want. Some people don't even want to have kids. They don't even
Yeah.
talk about it.
Exactly.
They may was like achik shawa, but you gotta have that communication.
یا میگن بعد از
again.
عروسی میشه mindش change شوه.
Oh no.
But
no,
if someone is like, firm on
Yeah.
no kids or 1 kid or 2 kid, I think, and if you don't
Yeah.
want that, you want more
Yeah.
or you don't want any, I think that communication needs to open up before that wedding date.
Yeah,
Because,
so please, if you're seeing
yeah.
someone or a family's introducing you to someone, please, please, please have a lot of open communication, ask lots of questions, and then tell them about yourself a lot, because if somebody loves you, they're gonna accept you for who you are.
Never go wrong with like just being honest and just having that communication, even asking that question, right?
Yeah.
But like you said earlier, some people might not show themselves as who they are, and then pass on or seek maker, and then you're like, oh, بر ما خودت نگفتی، و دیگه بسیار like گناهکار هستن، بسیار
Yeah.
غلط میکنن. If they say something and then they
بر خود نقص میرسانن بر کس دیگه
Yeah,
نه
'cause
به
they
خاطر
خودشون-
اگه اون نفر like if they're gonna leave you, you're gonna damage your own relationship in life.
Yeah,
Nobody's
you
doing you any
spent
wrong.
money on that
تو خودت-
wedding and-
Yeah, تو خودت خراب میکنی.
That's true.
So why go through all that, right?
I know it's not worth it.
So yeah, even like I know they can't before marriage they can't go like so far ahead talking about like how to raise the kids and all do that, but they could have some highlights about like what they expect, especially how to dress up their kids too, right? Because I think that's the biggest like conflict between husband and wife, right?
Yeah.
یگان تا قیدگیر است نگذره بر اولاد خود زیادتر از خانم
Yeah,
خودم کرده.
that's true.
میگن که like my daughter or my son like has
Can't
to
do this,
live in a
and yeah.
specific way, or خانه کسی نرن باید
Or
از
even-
خانه پت بپوشن.
Yeah. Or even Yagonta when after they get married and after they have kids, they're like, we don't want to live here anymore. I don't want to raise my kids here.
Yeah.
And then the poor girl has to leave her family behind and move to a different country because this was never like communicated, never talked about, that he thinks that he doesn't want to live here,
Yeah.
like his mind has changed. But about the kids, like one, I really like that because I think just not about kids, but like religious values is so important to talk about.
Yeah, it is.
Because if you're very religious and you're going to get married to a guy that's not so religious, that doesn't know his deen so much, doesn't pray regularly, or vice versa, and
That's
you just
yeah.
expect you can change them after marriage, I don't think that's an easy task that you're taking on to yourself. It's a huge responsibility. If somebody
Yeah.
does not like follow their deen
But
on their own, you
yeah,
could.
yeah.
It's nothing is
You
impossible.
could, but like you know what? Like what could happen in a relationship if you don't talk about these things and if you don't agree with each other, think about how much it's gonna affect the child, right?
Yeah.
Are they gonna like pick their mom's side, dad's side؟ مثلا اگر پدرش بخواد اولادش بسیار قرآن شریف بخونه و مثلا مسجد بره and then the mom is like doesn't even care about it. That child is confused. They're like, oh
Yeah.
my god, like who, why, like I
Like,
have to go and and do all this like Quran Sharif بخوانم namaz بخوانم and my mom or my daughter
or
or whoever
yeah,
نمیکنه.
yeah.
So it's so important that parents should be in the same page at least a little bit, if
Yeah.
not so much, at least they're both on the same page and not
Yeah.
disagreeing with
So
each
your
other.
morals, your religious values all should like be, it's never going to be like 100% same. یکی
No,
زیادتر
yeah,
کمتر می
کمتر
باشه.
میباشه.
But
Yeah,
باید از زبانش گپ زنی که من اینی توقع من است. This is what I
yeah,
expect from you as my wife, from you as
yeah.
my husband, that in the future when we're married, I want to be able to, continue being religious.
Yeah.
نماز خدا بخوانیم.
نماز بریم مثلا بر
مسجد خدا
ایدا
بریم. آن تو کارهای خدا
کنیم
بکنیم.
اولادم باید قرآن شریف
قرآن شریف خدا
بخوانن
از خودت
نزدیک
بخونه.
کنن.
Exactly,
It's
like
so
be raised
important.
as like
Yeah,
as like a good Muslim to
actually
our
you said it
extent,
so
and
well. This is the most important, like religion is really important to be talked about before
because میشه
marriage.
زیاد, right?
میشه
Like
وقتی
خانم
you
بیچاره
don't
میره
know.
like نماز خدا کجا دق میخوان then shower like each دقیقه سیش
But
نفر,
I
or vice
guess that's
versa
one of the
too.
thing that even if you don't talk about it پیش از engagement میفهمی کمک sense میکنی که مثلا
چی رقم
چی
هستن.
رقم است بخاطر اگه فکر کو you
خب
marry
but
someone
no
religious.
میفهمی but you think برو با 1030 جور میشه, با
نه
1030
دیگه
چی میشه.
قدرم دیگه قدرم دیگه you don't, not everybody thinks
There's a
that way
lot of
too, right?
assumptions. No, I think one
Yeah.
thing we're all good at is
Yeah.
assumptions.
I know that's
We're
true.
in one way it's kind of being positive.
Yeah.
You're positive thinking برو خوب میشه, برو صحیح میشه, like let's kind of like test the waters, but marriage is not test the waters. Marriage is a big thing, and ما كل ما دعا
I
میکنیم that we
actually
get
know
married once.
someone that married for the sake of changing the husband afterwards, even though she knew he was a gambler, he was like just going around with girls, just
Cheating is another
cheating.
one,
Yeah,
flirtatious,
yeah.
or somebody
برو
who's like
باز change میشه باز
yeah.
changeش میکنم. Oh my god, I'm like, are you
Yeah,
serious?
there
Like I
are
would
girls
never.
who catch their fiancés cheating during the engagement period, but میگن you know what, باید دارسی
Let's
چین
give him a
میشه.
chance. Let's give him a chance.
Are you serious?
No, don't give him a chance.
Once a
because-
cheater, always a cheater. We should always say that. That's a quote that you should always remember. But I
Exactly.
feel that kind of comes back to like gambling or alcoholic.
Yeah. Oh my god, I
You
know.
know,
That's a big
there
one.
are people that don't tell you that شراب میخورن, but they do.
They do, but it's like the way that they shouldn't, right? Like they
Yes,
joy,
exactly,
like
yeah.
and then drunk everywhere.
And then they come home and they abuse the wife.
Yeah. Oh my
Right?
god,
So
that's
that's like-
another one. You hear a
Yeah.
lot of stories with like alcoholic getting abusive and even
But even
abusing
abuse
their
itself.
children too,
Yes.
right?
No, but even abuse outside of being an alcoholic, there are abusers,
Oh my
right?
God, there-
There are men even that وقت
اعصاب
engagement
خرابا
اعصاب
مثلا
خرابی.
کس آرسی میکنن and then they don't know they have short temper and slowly they see the side of like اعصاب خرابیشانه. It could be
Yeah.
like یک خانم هم میتونه
I think
باشه شوهره.
یک test باشه.
Yeah.
You know how there's like psychological like behavior analysts
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they do tests and all,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I remember when I was in uni, we had like all those things. So I think there should be a test for that.
There should
to
be.
test like a person's like
Yeah.
temper.
I know.
Or they even do a lot of behavioral questions during interviews, right?
Oh, I love
like
that.
how would you react on a situation? Obviously, in a lot of interviews, people say a lot of like fake things and all, but there should be a way که آدم همه از نفر
But
از
this
سوال
also
از جوابشون
comes-
بفهمن.
yeah, but this sorry got me Zedi, but this also comes with how we were kind of raised, not in a bad way, but like I think now
We're polite.
no, not only politely, like I think our parents should have taught us before getting
defend
engaged
ourselves or to ask these questions.
to ask the question, and then they should have like asked this question for us, because if you think about it, a lot of our generation, they get married really young, or they
Yeah.
don't know any better, right? That's what is going to come your way, right? Like, I mean, of course we got lucky, or a lot of people get lucky to meet the right partner, but if somebody doesn't, I'm kind of blaming half, like, I don't want to blame fully the parents.
But I know what
Obviously
you're
you should be
saying.
smart enough,
Like
but
you should have
مثلا
been
ناخذها
guided.
فكر كذا, like when my kids get married, because obviously like all كل should I made up with social media, and like now we're talking about it, there's so much awareness, but I'm gonna not let my daughter marry whoever, like, or my son, like I want to like at least be able to, at least ما بختش أنا ميتهم change كنا, but at least ميتهم prevent كنا for so many problems and conflicts. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like have that conversation with her. Oh, do you know that
To
if you did
prepare
this,
her.
exactly, like
Like have those
meet him
open-ended
few
questions,
times,
yeah.
not just fully give her away, like meet the guy so many times, ask him so many
I feel like,
questions.
yeah, this is not just with arranged marriages. This
Yeah, it
is with
doesn't have
love
to be
marriage,
only with
everything, right?
couple.
Like,
Like the girl's dad can ask so many questions from the groom. This is a responsibility for the whole family.
yeah.
Not poor girl just falls in love and just does,
Yeah, and also even like back in the days,
right?
our families did used to say, you don't just marry the husband, you marry the whole family. I
Exactly.
think they say that all the time, but they don't really give you details on what do you mean by that,
Yeah,
mom?
yeah,
What do you mean by that, dad? Right? Like,
yeah,
tell me more.
yeah,
Like, we will actually sit down with our kids and tell them, what we mean is وقتی که you marry this person کچان رفت آمد می
yeah,
باشه
exactly.
خسرانداری می باشه.
Or a guy
They
can be
yeah.
mama's boy, right? And to
Yeah.
a certain point where, like, I have heard story where it's disturbing, guys. Like, it's like stories where a guy would get the same outfit for the mom, for his mother and his wife, so he doesn't disappoint the mom coming home. And it's like I get goosebumps. I'm like, don't tell me these stories, because I get
Yeah.
really pissed off. Like, I'll be a mother-in-law one day for, like, I have two
Yeah.
boys.
I think a guy respecting their mom is one thing,
Yeah.
and a guy trying to impress his mom at the same level he would impress his wife is
No,
disturbing,
don't
like you
do that to
said.
me. I'm gonna be your
I
mother-in-law, but I don't
I
want
know.
that. I don't want
I
that.
want
Stay
to be
away.
respected as a mother-in-law, and I respect my husband respecting, like,
Yeah.
my mom,
Yeah.
or like my husband respecting his mom, like the level of respect he has. I love it, but there's never a comparison, right? Like my wife over my mom,
Yeah.
or my
No
mom
one
over.
can be your mom. That
Yeah.
for sure we should know.
Mom's value is
But
like next level.
but
But the
things
thing is,
that,
sometimes some moms make the kid think like that and
yeah,
behave like that,
yeah,
right?
like
So
from like
the son feels like, oh my God, I have to do this, or I'm like
obligated.
disappointing my mom,
Yeah, they
or
feel
I'm failing as a son, right?
exactly.
Yeah, so
And
those things, that's what they mean when they say when you marry a guy, you're marrying the family, right? But same thing goes with guys too. When you marry a girl, you're marrying the family,
the
right?
family,
Because
yeah.
there are girls who are mama's girls, right? Like,
Oh my
nobody
God,
talks
that's
about this, right?
actually that's so accurate, because I know
They go
girls.
and snitch everything to their mom. They go snitch everything to
Not
their
only
sister and just
snitch, it's always about their mom. Like, I'm sorry, like, I know you love your mom and she's the whole world to you. Everybody loves their mom. Like, who doesn't? I mean,
Yeah.
there might be some psychos, but talking about this, like, you have your own little family now to bring first. I always say that don't get married unless you're gonna bring your own little family first. Like, your husband, your kids should come first.
And
I
same
would
thing for
say
the
that for
husbands, right?
everybody,
Yeah.
for me, myself, my brothers, my sister,
Even
everyone.
Islamically, it says, right?
Yes.
Like your wife and
And
your
some
husband
people, like, they get married later. Even I'm talking about the girls.
Yeah, yeah.
I know some girls, like, they get married and then they're still like always obsessed with talking about their mom. If their mom lives abroad, like in Afghanistan or somewhere else, they're always like, oh my chuak, like their entire emotionally, like, feeling, everything is about, like, towards their mother and towards their dad and siblings. Like, I get it. You love them. You told me once, but you meet them, they never talk about their little family, their kids, what they're doing. It's always about, like, Allah madara kam sadqisha, ma bites butter. I'm like, I have to do this, I have to do that, gifting and doing this, do it, but there should be a limit, I think. It just becomes
I know,
too,
I
like,
know what you mean.
have
No,
you met
but I'm
these
yeah, I've
people?
not met those people, but I've heard of stories, and
Yeah.
I know exactly where you're going. But I'm also talking about people that are like mama's girls in a way where هر گپ که میشه دمی فامیل
So
خسرانشان
these
کتی
people would
شوهرش
do it, yeah. The
because
people that
they're
are
so
so
like
obsessed and
they're
so
world
attached.
honestly, like you said, we're all obsessed with our moms. We all love our moms. We all like share a lot with our moms.
Yeah.
But there's severity levels
Oh,
on
there
how you
should
do
be.
it, how much you tell them, and how often you do it. And certain people, like you know how we always blame mama's boys, mama's boy. There, these imagine these guys who are like, why does my wife need to tell everything to their her
Yeah,
family, right? Like,
you're so right
it's
about
just a
that.
lot.
There is
Yeah.
girls that will tell share overshare everything. And
Yeah.
one thing about the guys that I like that they don't talk a lot about their wife with the family,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like they try to hide as
Maybe
much as
there
they
are
can.
some people
There are
that
some, but
do.
they're very less.
There's very,
A
yeah.
lot of guys don't talk a lot about their wife,
Yeah.
but the girls do. دخترها میکنن right
Do,
میرن میگن
yeah,
هر
yeah,
گپه
yeah.
like زیادترش هم کسایی که مثلا زیاد attached feel میکنن or they
That's
feel
true.
obligated or they feel like کل entire life من سرم و مادرم پدرم هستن my kids will come
Yeah.
last and who cares وخشتک هستن I need to
قلم بشه
give my love to
آه.
my family now because they're older which I get that too but you kind of have to have a balance right you
Yeah,
gotta have
yeah.
to balance but don't get married if you can't give your family love right
Yeah, but I think ما زیاد چیزا رو cover کردیم. We
we
said a
talked
lot. There's
so
a lot.
much today
There's more. There's a lot of little details that and a lot of responsibility with
yes
marriages. It's
yes
not an easy thing about or سی کردیم خلاص
oh
قبل
no
خلاص شد. Like I'm
marriage is
old enough, I'm
hard
23, I'm 25, I'm mature
marriage
enough.
is hard
You're never mature enough to get
no
married. I
and
think like
marriage
it's a
is
different kind of maturity.
experience
Yeah.
too right
Yeah.
like it goes wrong
You
and
learn
right
from
we
your
learn
experiences. We were not how we are now when I was when I got
yeah
married. 10 years ago, me
yeah
versus now as a married person is so different
yeah
and different in a good way.
good way
I was not as mature as
yeah,
I am now,
100%.
you know?
And we're still learning.
And
And you know what's
we're
good
more
about us,
realistic
Nida?
now.
Because we have a lot of people around us to learn
That we
from.
exactly,
Right? Like,
yeah.
we hear
We
stories
get
from even from each other, we're learning,
yeah, and
right?
then we get motivated. We see
Yeah.
someone doing something certain way and we like it. We get inspired, we get motivated, and then we just kind of mimic it and just kind
Yeah.
of apply that in our own life and see what works best for us. Not everything will work for you and your relationship.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for watching us today. I think we may have to do like another part of this
I know,
because
we
there's
love
so much
talking.
more we can talk about. So here we are. But don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share this video with all your friends and family.
See you guys next time. Take care until then.
Bye.
Bye.